Hey everyone, have you inherited a property and you thought that will be a simple process of selling the property, get the fund, and move with your life? However, just to find out that it's in a probate process, complex situation, issue with the friends and family members, a lot of paperwork, and start getting more issues and more complex in the process. Hey everyone, my name is Waleed Yousif. I'm a real estate investor here in the Valley. And today I want to share with you my experience with inheriting properties. Properties that we have purchased from inheritance. Basically, people passed away and they passed those assets, those properties, houses, apartments, land to their inheritance, and they start maybe going through the probate process, and they later decide to sell the property. So I really wanted to share with you problems that comes in the probate process, issues that come up with inheritance, big problems we see all the time between the inheritance of that asset or that property. Now, to give you some background information, just so you know, if you probably it's the first time or you have never inherited a property, when that person passed away, and let's say they have inheritance, houses, money in the bank, stocks, assets, land, multifamily, then those assets will be passed to the inheritance. And according to if there is a will or if there is no will, that will decide how the structure of those assets will be passed to the inheritance. So a will would be a big factor, whether they have a will or they don't have a will. That will be a big factor on structuring how those assets will be distributed between the inheritance. But for today's video, I want to share with you the problems that come up with the inheritance, issues that they face, issues that they create, issues that they come up across to. So these are really problems that we see from inheritance, from people that they inherited a property and now they're in the process of whether that's managing that property or selling that property. And again, this is really our experience. We have purchased multiple properties from inheritance. We help a lot of people in probate to go through that process. As I said, that could be a very complex process and a lot of issues could happen. So what do? We have relationship with attorneys, probate attorneys, title companies, that they're familiar with the probate, so they can help the families who are going through the probate, whether again they have a will or they don't have a will, or if there is any issue that come up with the probate. Now, the first problem we see quite often is the money. Probably that would be the obvious one, and that's because, as we said, the person who passed, they had great assets, they had houses, multifamily, land, money on the bank. So there are money and there are funds involved in that state. So that when there is money involved, then the inheritance now, they want to get as much as they can from that state, and also they want to control as much as they can of that money that the state basically has, and for them to inherit it and to take. Another problem we see that the relationship, now it started somehow okay or could be good, or they're all in good relationship with each other. So the inheritance, they could be all on good relationship or an okay relationship at the starting phase of the probate or the distributing the estate. However, as they go through in the process, now the relationships start really becoming more difficult between the family member, between the inheritance. Again, because as I said earlier, there are money involved on the process, and now they all want to control. So we will see that the relationship now start really becoming difficult between the inheritance, the family members as well. Now, the third problem is assets. So when they inherited one property or multiple properties, those properties would need to be maintained, and with taxes, with insurance, with other management fees, cleaning those property, making sure that the grass is not tall so they don't get cited with the city code violation. So they want to make sure that those properties are maintained. If there are rental investment properties, then those properties would still need to continue to be managed and until the sale, until if they decided to sell it so they can get the funds. So the assets now really become a problem, because who's going to maintain that? Who's paying for the maintain? They won't get the money until the estate or the property gets sold and finalized. That process, they still need to maintain taxes and insurance, maintain the property, managing the assets, so everything is in good condition until that sale or everything is finalized with the probate. Now, another problem we see is that the inheritance won't follow the rules, and they just wanted to really go in, do what they want, and basically ignore the rules, ignore what they have to do, what the title company would ask them to do, the probate attorney, or if we ask them to follow the rules, follow the process that we have for that sale, for that probate process to finish. So basically what they started doing, just doing things on their own without consulting with the attorney, without consulting with us, with the title company. They just go and do whatever they want with the property, making other agreements and that they're not supposed to, until we finalize, until we finish with the sale of that property. Now, the fifth problem, which also we see quite often, now the greed start be more visible. There would be asking to take more stuff than the other inheritance, to be compensated more than the other inheritance as well. Because here's the thing too, what happens if we have one house and let's just say we have two 50-50, that could be simple. However, when you have a property and there are inheritance, there are heirs, and for that property, they could be 3, they could be 4, they could be 10, they could be even 12, they could be even 20. So they could be as many as they can. Again, that because of the will and how is that structured, and with a will or without a will. So they will be asking to be compensated for a certain property, a certain fund that they would want it to be compensated. And again, regardless of what the other inheritance are requesting. So they would want to have their own idea, they want their own interest to be ahead of other people's interest, because again, the greed, they want to get more, they want to get that specific amount, or they really become, as I said, difficult. They won't really sign anything, they won't really communicate because of the greed of them wanting more properties, want more funding from the state. I do like this video would be like 2 parts because of the not bigger problems. There are 10 major problems. If you could please like and subscribe to the channel, that would greatly appreciate it. We're looking to provide more value, to add more content, and this is a new channel, so we would love your support, and if you could please like and subscribe to the channel, that would greatly appreciate it. Again, Waleed Yousif, take care.